Salzburg. It wasn't part of my Euro trip at first. My focus was on Altstadt, a town known for its lakes and charming village vibe. But as I dived deeper into my research, I stumbled across Salzburg, and I was hooked. This city has it all: history, beauty, and music. Especially music. Salzburg is the birthplace of Mozart after all. So without hesitation, I added it to my itinerary. And trust me, I'm so glad I did. After a cinematic train journey from Vienna, I arrived in Salzburg. A journey as beautiful as it sounds, with the rolling hills and alpine views. From the train station, I hopped onto a bus to get to my hotel. Let me tell you, Salzburg is a bit on the expensive side. My hotel was €100 for the night, and a one-day bus pass cost me €5. It's definitely the best and cheapest way to get around the city. After checking in and dropping off my bags, I was ready to explore the city. Salzburg is compact, and walking is the best way to experience its charm. My first stop was the Mirabell Palace and Gardens. This place is straight out of a fairy tale. While I strolled through the meticulously designed gardens, I was greeted by live music. A small orchestra played in the background, filling the air with melodies that made the experience even more magical. As I continued exploring Salzburg, I found myself drawn to the peaceful Salzach River. The river winds through the city, and its tranquil waters offer a perfect contrast to the bustling streets nearby. Walking along the riverbank, you get some of the best views of Salzburg's skyline. Quaint, pastel-colored buildings on one side, and the imposing Hohensalzburg Fortress watching over from the hill. Salzburg's bridges, like the iconic Altstadt footbridge, are not just practical, they're picturesque. As you cross, you'll often find couples attaching love locks to the railings, a charming tradition that's hard to miss. And the views, they'll stop you in your tracks. Next up was Mozart's Birthplace, a must-visit for any music lover. Standing outside the house where one of the greatest composers of all time was born, I felt an overwhelming sense of history and culture. It's incredible to think that the musical genius who composed some of the most timeless pieces once roamed these streets. I continued my journey into Salzburg's Old Town. Walking through these cobblestone streets, surrounded by centuries-old architecture, felt like stepping back in time. The Baroque charm is everywhere, and it's easy to see why this part of Salzburg is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Every turn brings you face to face with Baroque architecture, inviting cafes and unique boutiques. I spent a good portion of my day just strolling through these streets, soaking in the atmosphere. The blend of old world charm and modern vibrancy gives Salzburg a personality unlike any other city I've visited. Salzburg Cathedral is the heart of the city. Its towering spires and stunning interior leave you speechless. Inside, the grand dome and beautiful frescoes are a testament to the city's rich religious and artistic history. If you're enjoying this journey with us, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our community at Traverse XP. We're bringing you exciting travel experiences and insider tips from around the world. And then, I made my way to the iconic Hohensalzburg Fortress. Perched high above the city, the fortress offers panoramic views of Salzburg and the surrounding alpine scenery. One place that dominates the skyline is the Hohensalzburg Fortress. This mighty fortress, perched on Festungsberg Hill, has been guarding the city for over 900 years. It's one of the largest and best preserved medieval castles in Europe, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. Getting up there is half the fun. You can either take the steep climb through narrow streets or opt for the funicular railway, which in just a few minutes whisks you up to the top. As you enter the fortress, it feels like you're stepping back into the Middle Ages. The thick stone walls, ancient towers and defensive ramparts tell the story of Salzburg's military history. Inside, the fortress houses several museums that give you a glimpse into life in medieval Salzburg, from weaponry and armor to royal chambers that once housed the archbishop. Walking through these centuries-old corridors, I couldn't help but feel the weight of history around me. And the views from the top, simply breathtaking. You get a 360-degree view of Salzburg, the red rooftops of the old town, the Salzach River cutting through the city, and in the distance the snow-capped peaks of the Alps. It's the kind of view that makes you want to pause and take it all in. As the day came to a close, the fortress took on a whole new look. Bathed in the warm hues of the setting sun, it became even more majestic, a true symbol of Salzburg's timeless beauty. And finally, I wrapped up my day with a magical experience, an evening concert at Mirabell Palace. The Baroque marble hall is one of the most beautiful venues I've ever seen. As I sat down to listen to the chamber music, I let the music of Mozart and other classical composers wash over me. There's something enchanting about listening to music in the very city that inspired some of the greatest works in history. Salzburg may not have been part of my original plan, but it turned out to be one of the highlights of my trip. Its blend of history, music and breathtaking scenery makes it a city you can't miss. Whether you're here for a day or a week, Salzburg will leave a lasting impression. And remember, you can easily book tickets for many of these experiences on getyourguide.com for a hassle-free visit.